I think the reason why we were successful is we had a couple really gritty cowboy board members, and we refused to give up. So Jimmy V, never give up. I
Yeah,
mean, you take. I think that can
yeah,
be applied to everything you do in life.
everything.
So we hung in there. We felt the pain. Every entrepreneur feels pain.
Oh God.
So if you want to be an entrepreneur, if people are listening and like, I want to be an entrepreneur, find a niche, specialize in that niche, be the best in the world at something.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome again to another edition of Let's Talk Marketing with NDub, Nathan Webster. I'm your host, and I have my man, Dan Whiteley.
Hey, good to meet you. No, man, we grew up together.
Yeah, we did grow up together. For those that, it was probably like, I don't know how long. I mean, we were playing basketball when we were kids at this time of the year.
I think my parents moved to Vancouver in 1979. When did your parents move to Vancouver?
75.
75.
Yeah.
My house was on the first house on Talton and McGillivray for all you local folks, and then Nathan was three doors down.
I was.
But he was on the north side of the tracks, which was kind of the more of the lower income. And I was on the south side of the tracks, which was kind of more of the preppy, middle income. But we were neighbors.
Oh, that is fun. Yeah. I don't think I've ever heard Cascade Park said as that side of the tracks.
No, I mean.
I know. No, because it's all of it. Well, not anymore, but that was like the destination spot for when we were kids.
I mean, it was pre 205 bridge. So Glenn Jackson, I think, got built in 1982, which, so we were kind of isolated out there in this like Truman type world.
Very white suburbia.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. I just drove by, your folks' place yesterday. I was like,
it looks horrible.
Just looking at the neighborhood and how it's kind of changed, but that's what it is. Change is inevitable. So.
Yeah, for those that are listening, they're like, okay, so who is he? Well, Dan is also an entrepreneur. He has two companies that I won't steal his thunder. But what's interesting about Dan is he's always been a jokester. And but I was like, ooh, this is going to kind of show off our age. But let's just say, 30 plus years? No. It was when we couldn't drive. We would go down to Riverview and play basketball all day long.
Yeah, I mean, it's really kind of before screens, right? So we, actually it was, we talk about this all the time. It's like, I mean, we were literally outside all the time.
All the time.
I mean, put it in perspective. I mean, 1989, we had a child killer here in Vancouver, Wesley Allen Dodd, and people can't get their mind around this. I mean, our parents let us just run around town when there was literally a child killer on the loose. He lived behind Shorty's nursery on Mill Plain, and he was literally kidnapping and killing kids. And our parents were like, yeah, I'll just be home by 10, 11.
It's not like we have phones or anything.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. I mean, it was different perspective, different time. I mean, my parents my mom was a little bit of a hippie, I guess you could say. My dad was an engineer, but my dad was working. My mom was just like, have at it. And I just roamed the neighborhood. I mean, sometimes I wouldn't come home for a week. They'd be like, where's Dan?
Are you the only child?
No, I have a younger sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. But
yeah. Well, I know you don't want to hear about our childhood. I brought Dan on. I asked him on because he has a very unique business that I don't think I've ever had on the show here. But also, is when I came back from Kenya, we started talking a little bit more. I'm like, wow, how do you know so much about this? But as you see in the title, and you probably came to learn more about how we're going to talk about that. Let me first give Dan the floor, because if you can tell the folks who you are, what you do, that sets you up for success.
Yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. I started a company 20 years ago called Merryman Company. We're an executive search firm that specializes in the construction industry. I started this business by myself. Grinded it out by myself for the first 6 years. I hit a recession between '07 and 11, so it was just myself and developing my brand. But now we're a 12 person firm. We have a small office in Southern California. We're looking at expansion in the Midwest, and we're headquartered here in downtown Vancouver. So very specialized, and I think that's kind of what I want to talk to you a little bit about, was just defining your niche and your specialization. So our recruiting group, each of our recruiters focuses on a very specific market niche across the United States. My niche happens to be electrical construction. I'm not an electrician by trade. I just work in this one little niche across the country, and I'm the best at it in the business. I mean, I'm probably, that's my niche. I can confidently say I'm probably the best electrical construction recruiter in the country, which is really weird. And I mean, that's, it's like, but I couldn't wire a house, or
That's not what your degree's in.
No. But so, and then, I kind of developed that brand with each of our recruiters taking on a specific niche. My best friend, Trevor Butension, he runs a mechanical construction niche. And so, over the last 20 years, we've grinded it out.
Childhood friend too.
Yeah, well. Childhood friend. Grew up right on the other side of Nate.
On the other side of my fence in my backyard. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And so, over time, you get this reputation. A lot of people come into our business. They're fly by nights. They come in, they leave. We just consistently stay there. And I have client base that is, 20 years old now. I mean, I've worked with some of the same people awesome. For 20 plus years. I guess that's showing my age, but I started this business when I was 27, and now I'm 47, and I don't know how much longer I want to do this, but it's probably I'm at the point now where I maybe do another 10 plus years doing it. But so each recruiter I bring on, I kind of take that same approach. Like, you got to develop your niche and your specialty, and so we got the number one construction recruiter probably in concrete that's going to be joining our team. He's out of Indiana. He matches up well with us.
Nice.
We have a group that is a couple of recruiters that are very good at the REITs, the big builder developers from a national scale, kind of like what you see with Holland here locally. Those types of those folks. We got a niche in drywall. We got a niche in data centers. So we're all, each one of our recruiters, I kind of preach the same thing. Like, you got to individual brand yourself under the umbrella. Like, the company, A.L. Merryman, that's great. People kind of, it's a name, it's a holding spot, but really the true branding comes from the individual, at least in our business, and that's kind of how I've taught it. But
so that's interesting, because you're speaking to almost every entrepreneur, small business out there. When it comes to this area, it's funny because we're very heavily construction based, which we don't have a lot of construction jobs unless you go across to the river, Portland, Oregon, up north in Seattle. But Vancouver is kind of funny how we have a lot of construction firms, and that's where you cut your teeth at. How did you get into that business?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I kind of going back on our construction community here in Clark County is 100% unique from any other place across the country. I mean, we have a very, very strong workforce in North County, and it's very family,
Oh, well, yeah. Yes.
Really tight organizations and well-run organizations up there. And then, kind of in the downtown sector here in Vancouver, we have a really strong architectural and engineering community that supports that. So, we've been a bedroom community. We're definitely seeing a renaissance movement here in Vancouver. Obviously, from Portland's demise, I think Vancouver's, seeing its rise, and and you can see it. I mean, there's literally more cranes in Clark County. We got 500,000 people here. There's 1.9 in Portland metro areas, and we have twice as many cranes up right now. So Vancouver is really the only thing that's carrying the Portland market at this point. So that's interesting, but
never would have thought that.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a recessed market in terms of construction here in Portland and Seattle. Now, my business, I do more work right now in North Carolina and Texas than I do here in the Northwest. Like if I sat here and tried to just recruit electrical construction in Portland, I would be broke. So I do a lot of recruiting in kind of this AI data center movement. I mean, that's 80% of my work right now is in the data center sector. Infrastructure that supports the electrical needs for those data centers, and then actually inside the building, building out these massive construction dollar amount projects. I mean, we're talking $8 billion job in Texas right now with OpenAI and Sam Altman and his group. Collaboration with Oracle and Microsoft. I mean, it's just a massive initiative. It's a job. It's in Abilene, Texas. Abilene's got like 100,000 people. This job is going to have like 6,000 construction workers on it at its peak. So it gives you kind of perspective of what's happening there. Everybody talks about AI, right? Like, oh, is it really a thing? Yeah, it's a thing. I mean, it's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah. So kind of get I think people are a little bit hesitant. They don't know what it is. They might be a little scared of it. They're maybe concerned about their job security. I don't think people need to be too concerned about their job security. If you're still able to provide value, and I think you're gonna be fine. I think we're in a perfect situation right now where we have. I mean, if you look at our population in the United States, right? Baby boomers are gonna. I mean, literally are gonna take up a huge chunk of our population. I mean, if you take out all 400 million people in the United States, literally, I think 220 million of them are working. So you got the rest are, kids, baby boomers, folks that aren't working on disability or whatever it is, right? Government assistance or whatever it is. So we really don't have a huge working population.
No.
So AI is really going to kind of help the folks that are out grinding, the entrepreneurs like myself. And the way I see it is like all of us are going to have. I mean, there's going to be an operator to every business, right? My business, I'm going to operate my business, my niche, and I'm going to have AI supporting my niche, and I will be that operator. I will be that human contact. So, I mean, there is going to be some, obviously jobs are going to be eliminated. Administration jobs are going to be eliminated. I mean, certain areas are in trouble. I mean,
well, I always think about the travel industry. I remember in the Marine Corps when I had to go to the travel kiosk. I forget what were their names, but you had to go there to get your ticket. But then that's went away. But travel never stopped, and I think there's more like kayaks and Expedias and all these different things that all get supported in a way that a travel agency, you don't have that many people. So there are, I mean, unless you don't use one of these things, you won't have a job. But there's going to be so many jobs created, and like what you said, AI, you're going to have AI bots working for you just to answer emails. I mean, it's not even about like AI as in this Terminator.
No, it's not yet, but yeah. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it is I do ask the questions. Is AI going to take your job? I'm like, we're so far from that.
Yeah, I think I think there's always going to be room for the operator. So like put yourself in a position where you're valuable. You're running a client base, a niche base. You're running your niche. You're running your business. You've proven value, and then you have those bots working simultaneously with you. I mean, I think that's gonna that's gonna be the model for at least the next 5 to 10 years. Outside of that, exponentially, our growth with this Nvidia push and everything with supercomputers and everything. I mean, I think it might get a little scary, and government's going to be way behind
Oh my
on
gosh.
making legislation to kind of curb some of this stuff. So that's going to be a little scary. I mean, government really needs to get ahead of the curve here. So talk to your Congress people on getting some legislation in place there, because hypothetically, I think it can get a little out of control, but
Yeah.
for now, I mean, just even from where we were 2 years ago to where we're at now, using just Chat GPT and
Right.
Perplexity and Gronk and some of
Gemini. Yeah.
these models are very helpful in my day-to-day business. I
Absolutely.
mean, they're saving me hours. And in talking to construction folks, the leader in technology is Trimble, and Trimble kind of dominates construction software and technology. And I got some good friends at Trimble, and they're talking about, this is going to definitely make pre-construction estimating, bidding, workflow, project management software, and all this stuff. The industry is lacking so much talent right now. These guys are incredibly stressed. The average, guys coming out of construction are dying in their 60s. I see it on a regular basis. I mean, they're stretched. I mean, it's a very honest career. It's a hard-working career, but when guys are getting out of the business, they're not
done.
they're not enjoying their retirement. We'll put it that way. And I think this is going to help a lot of that. There's also, there's been a big push for, people getting in the trades, women getting into construction, all that stuff, all that big push. At the end of the day, it's really not generating much difference. I mean, it's just kind of like a lot of hoopla. Women in construction, kind of interesting fact, like women in construction, you'd think there'd be a lot more women in construction.
Yeah.
But
No.
from 1996 to current, there's been a 0.1% increase in women in construction.
Yikes.
So, I mean, be you. There's nothing wrong with women not being in construction.
Right.
It's fine. Just be you. I mean, it is what it is. Like,
I think we push for so many. We push for all of, like, it's not fair. It's not fair. But I think what's not fair to you is if you're not being you, which I love. How do you niche down for those? I said, like, okay, I do want to be me, but how do I do that and become this expert?
Yeah, like, how do you, like, yeah, like, I geek out on, like developing such a specific niche in something. Like, I'm constantly coming up with more niches in my head. It's really weird. Like I started, like, I'm one of the founders of a local nonprofit here called Community Roots Collaborative, C Roots. We're making a lot of inroads here locally.
Yeah, you are.
Like, we started this organization in 2019. It's a 501c3. Like, the niche we've created is we are the best in the state of Washington at building tiny home communities for folks that are coming out of homelessness, which is 30% AMI. So folks making under $22,000 a year, to 50% AMI, which is under $40,000 a year. So we are housing folks in that demographic in tiny homes. We are the #1 developer of tiny home communities in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah,
And
That's crazy.
we could take it to a national level. I mean,
That's huge.
we're at that point right now where we got 4 projects done. We're looking at our 5th project here locally, and the way I see that model is I want to take that model and scale it to other markets. So what we've done here in Vancouver, this is a perfect blend. We kind of blend my construction knowledge. We blend the construction community. We blend the engineering architectural community. We blend the social service providers. We blend local government. We blend state government. And we take all that collaboration, get it all into a pot, and we go out and we build subsidized housing. So, I mean, that's what we're doing. Man. So,
well, and I do want to say that you've been doing it more or longer since 2019.
Oh yeah, it's exponent. That thing is just I mean, yeah, it was.
I think that's when you guys got your 501.
Yeah, Hector Hinojosa, our founder, started it. I think he had the idea in like 2014, 15. There were some zoning changes here. Before 2017, the smallest house you could build in Clark County was 600 square feet, which was very interesting. You couldn't build a house in Clark County under 600 square feet. So the laws got changed to 300. So 300 square feet is the minimum size.
What is your tiny home?
300. Yeah,
300? Okay.
Our second development, O Street, which we finished last year. Those are 690 or 700 square feet.
Oh wow!
So they're 2-bedroom. So what we had, our first development, Fruit Valley Terrace, was a 21 tiny home community, and we got that off the ground somehow. Miracle, just kind of grinding it out, being a scrap. I mean, we I don't know how we got that through. I think that was a higher power, honestly.
Praise God.
Seriously. And that's a whole nother topic. But, what we found is we reunited a lot of children with their parents. And, we had these 300 square foot homes with a couple kids in there, and it wasn't working. So our next planned community was, 700 square foot homes. So, some of those folks could transition there, bring their kids in, and that's that whole village there is all families. So that's 7 families. We got 7 they're not tiny homes, they're cottage homes. Okay. It's a beautiful community. It's like we got 7 homes, this middle central area, which I call kind of the Melrose Place model. Kind of looks like Melrose Place. You got the kind of the community area in the middle, artificial grass, and you got this track around the sidewalk around, and it's just scooters. It's like a highway of kids, scooters, just 1-year-olds to, I think the oldest is 12, but that model is working great. That one's all focused on on families. This next development we're doing, I mean, we haven't really kind of figured out the demographic, but we might, do a veteran focused village, or there's all kinds of need out there. But yeah, so that model's taken off. It's really it's just exciting. I'm super proud of it. We got Peggy Sheehan. She's executive director. She retired from the city.
Yeah.
I recruited her over. She's done a fabulous job there. But it's all about working with kind of local landowners and builders and developers, and just coming up with a solution. And the community has been very supportive. It really is. It's a 501c3, so it's a community. It should be a community-run organization, right? So it's community-run organization building affordable homes for the community. And it has to be subsidized. I'm a Friedman economic guy by nature, but I realize that
capitalist.
Yeah, I'm a capitalist, but
I'm proud to say
I've tried to break this down so many ways. Building affordable housing to make a profit is not a model that works in this country, especially with the housing demand for market rate right now. Right. So you can't convince a for-profit developer to build only affordable housing. It just doesn't work. So it has to be subsidized. And if our government doesn't subsidize it, it's not a perfect system. If our government doesn't subsidize it, then the alternative is what we're seeing in Portland, and times that by 5, times it by 10. I mean, literally, it's The government's trying to throw as much as they can out of it. Is it the best solution? I don't know. What I have seen though is the government money is just not, it's not spent the best.
No,
No,
it's
I mean,
never been spent
so
the best.
so what I wanted to create there was I want to build affordable housing. So what that means is I want to build the house at the lowest cost possible so that so the affordable housing population can get into an actual affordable house that was built with tax dollar money at the most affordable cost ever possible. And so we've done that through modular construction. And we've partnered with Wolf Industries up in Battleground, just a wonderful organization, Derek and Taylor and those guys. They're building homes out of a factory. It's very impressive.
Yeah, they say from modular homes and 3D is going to be the best economic way to save money because cost the building fixtures, just everything is just so just crazy.
Oh, it's crazy expensive, and I've talked to some legislators of all the affordable housing dollars that when you're building on site, you have to use prevailing wage. So that means you're using basically union labor rates, which is astronomical. Electricians at $75 an hour in Seattle, or a pipe fitter or a plumber here in Portland at $65-$70 an hour. That labor can get out of control. So what I found is that the loophole there was that if we build in the factory, we don't have to pay prevailing wage, which just exponentially lowered our costs. So our development 2021, we built the most affordable house in the state by something like $250,000 cheaper than the next. So we built our houses for $139,000, utilities, solar, house, land, everything included, engineering, $139 a door. I can't get that price anymore, unfortunately, with COVID and everything. But the next cheapest was affordable housing multifamily unit in Tacoma was $450,000. So that's where our tax dollars are going, and it's unfortunate, but wow. It's just the system, and it's nobody's fault. It's just the way the system's set up. So we're trying to kind of tweak the system here a little bit. Let's think modularity. I know that we're way behind the United States on modularity. If you look at Canada and you look at China and what they're doing with construction, and you look at Europe, what they're doing with modularity, they're far advanced. So we're a little bit behind, but our resource with Wolf being here in Clark County and kind of their operation, they've got a really tight run, lean, ISO ran organization that's doing tremendous work, and they're pumping out. I think they can pump out 2 homes a week at this point. So, and they're 100% homes. They're not manufactured. They're not mobile homes. They are permanent homes that they just build in the factory, and then they bring them in and they rig them, drop them right on concrete footings, and it's a done deal. Yeah, and it's 40-50% cheaper than traditional stick built. So. Yeah,
I know that's some of the things I was looking at Kenya too, because they take even trailers and make them into part of being a modular home. They built, you can do that with a trailer.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if you go to Mexico or you go to Brazil or South America and in Africa, and you don't see the levels of homelessness that we see here in the United States. They don't have, obviously they have. The poverty is different, right?
Yeah.
I'm not
poverty is different than homelessness.
Yeah, I'm not talking about poverty. I'm just talking about if you go to when I went to Europe, I didn't see a single homeless person outside of maybe some gypsies, right? I saw when we go to Mexico, people are housed. They're just not in traditional housing that we have here with the codes and everything.
Right,
so
right.
I mean, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that oh, that person's living in a tin roof house. Well, that person's at least got a house. And here in the United States, with the coding, the way the system is, we can't build houses that aren't up to code, which
And it's funny you mentioned that because when I was there, I was like, man, you can tell that no one comes in and inspects, and
Yeah, yeah,
the coding matters and where they place commercial versus residential. We have so much of that, and then of course commercial, and this is part of when you niche down, you start figuring out, and which I've heard here in Clark County, there's a backlog where you can't get a permit to build anything. On top of that, we don't have any more land to do the so who's the expert in the government calling these shots? And I know that you probably know him.
I mean, I don't. There isn't. I.
Oh, so there.
I mean, yeah. It's just.
Oh, that's not good.
I mean, I think our legislators do a fabulous job on and understand, the housing shortages here in Washington State. I mean, it's astronomical. There is no way we're going to meet the metrics that are needed over the next 30 years to meet the housing demand. So when you're seeing people out on the street and you're seeing like homelessness, I mean, we are housing folks. We're housing silent homelessness. Basically, the folks that are living on couches, you don't see them out on the street, right? I mean, we do some of that, but there is a huge amount of homelessness folks that are living in the car, living on couches, living in storage units that in this community that people just don't necessarily see. And, and that's what we're going to be, that's what we serve typically. But,
well, and I would say, as a nonprofit, as someone that worked in the nonprofit world for so long, you believe you are making a difference, and you are. But when you first start, you don't know the severity of how big the problem is until you start getting into that sector.
Yeah.
Then you're like, wait, what?
It's
very significant.
Oh yeah, it blows your mind.
It does.
It really does. And you and me growing up in the 80s here in Vancouver, we didn't see a single homeless person. We didn't.
No.
We didn't. There wasn't folks that we knew were sleeping on couches. Housing was affordable here. Purchasing a first home was something that was doable for a person in their 20s and early 30s. It's just not doable right now for somebody coming out of college with $150,000 in student loans, getting a job, and then saving $150,000 to $200,000 to purchase for a down payment on a house in Clark County. I mean, it's just it's out of control. I mean, so we're seeing a lot of people. We're seeing a lot of people leave the West Coast. I help folks transition into other states. A lot of middle America, middle class folks are moving. I mean, especially out of California. I mean, they're selling their homes in California and purchasing in North Carolina, Texas, and other areas, Alabama, Tennessee. I mean, these are all areas that they just go in there and lay down the cash and purchase a house. I mean, that's what's leading to the growth. The growth we are seeing in North Carolina, from a recruiting aspect, what I deal with in North Carolina is out of control. I mean, it's just so much business, commerce, pharmaceutical, data centers, manufacturing, battery plants. All this is going out there, and it's just it's amazing to watch, and it makes me incredibly sad to be up here in the Northwest with such an educated workforce, great people, and we're not building any jobs here. I mean, it's just there's. I see all the potential that we have in Oregon and Washington, and it breaks my heart because, all these jobs are going to Texas, and we're seeing our companies are exiting here. I mean, you saw it the other day. Dutch Brothers is moving to Arizona. I mean, these are hometown, Pacific Northwest companies that should be staying here, and I feel like, those are kind of the ebbs and flows on politics and stuff, and a lot of it. A lot of it's just, chatter on, some of it's political, but, I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, And
I
I
didn't
think,
hear about Dutch Rose.
yeah,
That's sad to hear that.
yeah, and it goes back to homelessness and the perception that people are seeing here in Portland. We're seeing a lot more of it in Vancouver. I mean, it's changing. It's things that people see on the street, and um, I've been just dealing with something personally, like our office got broken into last week here in downtown Vancouver.
No.
Yeah, and it's folks in a homeless camp right next door to us that came in, broke into our office aggressively with screwdrivers, and then came up, ransacked the place for 15 minutes. They're all on camera. They stole iPads and everything, and then
I'm
left.
sorry.
And and then when we ping the iPads into the homeless camp right next door, the cops don't do anything. So So if you let that behavior continue, and you let it continue as a business owner, I see the like, dude, I'm out of here. And that's what we're seeing. I mean, honestly, and I'm not trying to I'm just talking, right? When stuff like that happens over and over, and your taxes keep going up, and trust me, I'm in the middle here. I lean left, but as a business owner, when you're seeing this stuff happen, and you're like, dude, and you see all the building construction going on in these other states, you're like, dude, I'm out of here. And that's what we've been seeing. And so I'm very optimistic on Portland recovering and the Northwest. I'm here for life, but you see these things happen,
and then if you experience it,
yeah, I mean,
that's tough.
Yeah, I mean, and so what we're seeing down in Arizona is mind-boggling as well. Like Phoenix, it's very interesting. Phoenix in the middle of a arid desert, right? I mean, Phoenix is going to be the 5th largest city in the next 10 years in the United States.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean the growth rate of Phoenix it's Dallas and Phoenix. So it's New York, LA, Chicago. Dallas is about ready to pass Chicago, and then Phoenix will eventually pass Chicago. So I mean these markets are just growing at an exponential rate. Austin's kind of had its push. Nashville's had its push. North Carolina population rate I think is increasing like 4% year over year. So I mean you're just seeing massive amounts of folks moving into those markets. Interesting fact though is Seattle was the 5th fastest growing city in the country last year, which blew my mind because I talked to I got people that want to move out of Seattle all the time due to cost of living, lack of building and all that. In the construction industry, it's a little slow up there, but yeah, Seattle was 5th fastest growing city in the country, but 75% of it was immigration. So Seattle is becoming it's an international city with folks, immigrating
for folks that can afford it.
Yeah. Well, there's a North Africa, Asia. A lot of folks have immigrated into Seattle over the last year. Now that probably, I'm sure that's getting all halted, but under the current climate, but just an interesting fact.
That is an interesting fact.
Yeah. So Seattle's growing, and the housing prices are continuing to grow.
Because Seattle's,
it's just not livable. It's not. So I recruit folks to move into certain markets, and Seattle's got, it's a very slow construction market, but everybody's still hiring because that's how understaffed they are. And it's very hard to get people to relocate into Seattle. I mean, it's a beautiful city, but my entry price is $1.2 million. Okay, I can't afford that. Oh, and it rains 190 days a year. Oh, okay. So it's becoming a lot harder to get people to move up here. Portland, we're kind of the same thing, dude. I mean, Clark County. Look at Clark County housing prices. I mean, we are
used to be
above Portland.
No way.
I think it's the first time ever Clark County homes, I think per square foot are higher than Portland. Yeah, crazy. Portland market is not moving. Like if you look at real estate right now in Portland, holy cow, dude.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of, just driving even from the hills, not in Beaverton, but in the hills of Portland, northeast and southeast. Man, there are a lot of for sale signs.
There's a ton of for sale signs. And speaking of like commercial real estate, so of the 26 biggest markets in the country, Portland has the highest by far. It's not even close. The highest vacancy commercial rate in the country.
Portland does?
Portland by far. It's like 28%, 30% vacancy rate or something ridiculous. Big Pink, did you see that article? I posted something on LinkedIn on this, but
I did not. Was that big? Yeah.
Big Pink, the biggest commercial real estate by square footage in the state of Oregon,
Which is also one of the biggest destination spots for commercial
yeah.
real estate.
Oh yeah.
Too.
I mean, it's the epicenter of Portland. City Grill's on top. Beautiful building. Architecturally
US
significant.
Bank.
Yeah, it's a beautiful building.
But US Bank moved out.
Yeah. So they are like so that building sold for $500 million in 2014, and it is for sale right now at $70 million.
Oh my gosh, that's
11 years later, that thing is worth 1/8 the cost it sold for.
Yeah, I was about to
1/7. Yeah.
No, yeah, that's 80%.
I mean, so if you are,
Wow.
and that just shows you, like, if you are pro Portland, you think that there's going to be a recovery, and you got $70 million laying around, I would go buy Big Pink. But the problem is, I don't think people still there hasn't been that shift yet in people's mentality on, is Portland going to recover? I think most people believe it's not, and that needs to change. So yeah. I don't,
Still very early in the very early in the recovery.
Yeah, I mean, I read in 21, some economists came up, it's going to take 10 years to recover, and if we're looking at 2031, maybe that's a target time, but as an investor, if you're looking for deals and you think, hey, Portland might have a turnaround, I mean, now's the time to buy, but nobody likes to buy when things are like dismal, but
so, which is fun. I think it's funny as we talk about, and for those that are still watching, listening, we appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I'm blabbing.
No, you're good because as the topic was to focus on being niche. Being niche also means you have to learn about so many other things to realize that that's not for you, and understand that there is going to be other factors that are going to change your niche. So how do you stay, like, as you were, we talk about construction. Dan does construction. I love how you talk about construction, but to build to do it yourself, just like I run my ads, I do my own social media when I do it for other folks, I still have to learn how the algorithm is changing
constantly.
So when you were talking about the building an affordable house, you can't get a contractor here to do that. So you have to walk the talk.
Yeah. I mean, I saw, with Sea Roots, I saw a niche. There was a niche there. There was a market, and, we kind of went in there, and we've kind of filled that little spot in our community where it was needed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, find a niche, right? Find your niche.
Doesn't mean it's going to be easy.
I mean, Nate's exploring a very interesting topic. Like he's exploring Nairobi in Kenya and potentially looking at developing a little niche over there.
Yes.
I've done some similar things with my workforce. Like I have a full-time worker that's based out of Pakistan, and she's great. Like she's, it's something I've never thought about. We have a doctor. I have a doctor she's got a doctorate in psychology, and she's doing all my admin work at 1/8 the costs I pay somebody here in the United States. Like, and she's very grateful. Like, it's a high paying job in Lahore. And Lahore, and then you start looking at these cities like, oh, Lahore, Pakistan. Look up Lahore, Pakistan. Very, very cosmo area. 17 million people, top 25 city in the world in population. Technology hub, highly educated population.
Very
And then you look at Nairobi and you're like, oh, Nairobi, Africa. It's gonna be ran down with homelessness. No, it's freaking green. It's green with with safaris right like outside the city limits. It's highly educated, sky rises.
Yes. I mean, when it comes to, first and foremost, the environment that is just, it's clean. Yeah, sure, you can say there's litter on the road. They might not have, we can say, oh, are there parks there like they do? Yeah, we do, but it's a different culture. But the culture also has a social element that you're not going to find here in the States. So people like to say, oh, it's going to be a wild animal no, that's within the city. They got that contained for your pleasure.
Yeah.
But you can also jump on a plane and go to Masai Mara and and it's like, we here in the States, we like, oh, it has to be a certain way. Like,
like the pictures of Africa and like, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some suspects,
absolutely.
But you look at Kenya as a country, it's stabilized. You got, you look at, interesting fact. I saw by 2050, our population in the world is not going to go up very much, but the top 10 cities population-wise in 2050 will all be African cities. It's interesting because you look at birth rates. The female in Africa is still having it's like 3.2 or so. It's like in the threes per woman is having children. The United States, we're down to 1.1, 1.2. Drastic. I mean, we've cut ourselves in half. Like 2000, I mean, 1950, I think the average American was 2.8, 2.9 per woman.
70s.
Now we're in the 1 point something. So population growth in Europe and in North America is just, women aren't having kids, but Africa, they still are. So you see this huge potential there. They got their education system, it's figured out. I like what you're doing there. I think there's some really good. Opportunity.
Yeah, I can't wait to take some people along with me, because just going there again, you get there and just the environment is. We have this insistent need to grind, like hustle, hustle, hustle. Yet a lot of it, for me, in my experience, it's just surface level stuff. You can have this type of conversation when you first meet somebody. In order for us to do it here in the States, like, you have to have years of meeting them and have like, oh, I'm not trying to take advantage of you, or you want to, it's all kind of super. Maybe if it's,
there's more face value over there.
Yeah, I don't want to say like, oh, you can go get this if you join a club. They say get this from a social club. You can't even have that at a social club. People are so tight knit on like, oh, my lifestyle is this, or you don't know this, and that's not there. So when it comes down to people doing business, at the end of the day, they're all about business over there. So that's one thing I love, because everyone's entrepreneurial. People want to work. They love what they do. They enjoy what they do, and they want to get better at it. And they have retirement, but it's not like, oh, I'm gonna be done working at like 40 and just to sit around and do nothing. That's not the mindset over there. I think that's how American culture. We say you're gonna retire and sit around and do nothing, watch TV. That's not how things work over there.
No. More family structured.
Completely. And the cool thing about it is like, you maybe you're not a social extroverted person, but there are so many things that you can do that's just still chill. That is not about that. But if you want that lifestyle, you can party every day in Nairobi. It is a party city. Or you can be out in the village, be out in the wilderness, and enjoy that quiet, chill lifestyle and be one with nature.
Yeah, city's got a lot to offer.
Oh.
I mean, the pictures are. I've never been there, but
it's a blast.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta come with me.
Yeah, well, sure. I just got invited to Africa. I love this.
Hey.
We're going. I just that just goes into the power of travel, right? I mean, it's just one of the most powerful things you can do for your mind. I think when I take trips, and I wish I've done more traveling over my life, but me and my wife are making it a focus for us and the kids, and so we're taking pretty big trips on a regular basis now, and it just, for me, it just opens up so many more pathways in my brain. I can just I can literally feel the neurons connecting. What you see visually,
Yeah.
and people just need to get out of this country, and go check out other areas. I mean, we got our countries. We're so blessed in so many ways, but when you go, we did Scandinavia for a month last year, and it just absolutely blew our mind on what we were seeing for infrastructure and cleanliness and food quality and lack of obesity and health and fitness and just all these things that just kind of wow. I mean, we really have it. We don't have it good in a lot of ways.
No, and that's one of the beautiful things that I loved about being in Nairobi is just, even though you go grocery shopping more, but I heard that's the case in Europe too, because we have all these preservatives pumped into our food. And when the best pizza I ate was in Nairobi.
Yeah.
And some of it had goat on it.
Yeah.
I'm a choma. It was
straight up goat pizza is delicious. I mean, it was interesting. We would go grocery shopping in Denmark and Norway. We kind of just went around and did Airbnbs and got to stay in the neighborhoods and stuff. That's kind of how we did it. But so we'd go grocery shopping and be the store was just empty. At the bakery there would be 10 loaves of bread, and I started talking to some of the locals about it. It's yeah, we just have enough to supply you on a daily basis. It's not, our food's not full of preservatives. It can't just sit on shelves for,
right.
Yeah. And it's just different. It was just
they value freshness.
Oh yeah, and the fruit doesn't, in the produce doesn't look all shiny and fresh like it does here. It's just natural. You can tell it's locally grown produce, and and it's just delicious. But it's the food supply. I don't want to get into that topic, but our food supply here is messed up. But I think we're Americans are obviously becoming more and more conscious of this. We have JFK is now our health secretary or whatever. Yeah. Oh, he's got a lot of interesting theories.
Make America healthy again.
Yeah. Michelle did get out and move. That was her movement. Now, I don't know. There's just needs to be a lot of fundamental changes there, and I don't think it can be done. We just got too many systems in place. Too much.
Because if you ask my kids, their school lunch is abhorrently awful. And not anywhere close to being where they're gonna get a good cooked meal. And I mean, obviously they're gonna be hungry and not hungry, but they're gonna be not hungry because it's not real food. And that's a whole nother conversation.
Well, it's just massive amounts of inflammation from our food supply. I mean, my wife suffers from chronic migraines, so kind of interesting. We go to Europe for 30 days and not a single migraine.
Wow.
And then she comes back and she gets migraines weekly. So, I mean, it's got to be the food supply. It's the inflammation and everything that's that we're putting in our bodies. It's got to be. And I noticed that too. I mean, I when I was over there, there was no bloating or nothing. You probably felt that in Kenya.
No, and I was drinking milkshakes almost every day, and I didn't gain weight.
I mean, it's fuck that, dude. I mean, U.S. needs to get that shit under order. I mean, we're literally poisoning our people. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm looking at it like, if I can make my millions here, I'm gonna take my money. I'm gonna go somewhere else, dude. I'm gonna retire
I
somewhere
mean,
else.
isn't
I'm
that
out.
what,
I'm out of this country.
is it,
I'm gonna retire somewhere else.
you going? Hey.
I mean, I might come back here to MD Anderson to get my cancer diet, or cancer treatment. I'll come back here to get
Cancer?
cancer,
Why you speak that?
whatever. From all the shit I've put in my body over the
Oh.
last 50 years living in the United States, I'm bound to get something. So I'm gonna exit here when I retire. I'm gonna buy a place in Merida, Mexico,
I mean,
or I'm gonna buy something over in Europe. Get the heck out of here. Live a healthy life. Maybe come back here to Hopkins when I need a special surgery or something, and then get the heck back out. I don't know. Maybe that's.
it's funny because people will love to come here because they feel it's the land of opportunity. But
Well, you make your money here. You make your
yeah,
money.
but that's. I mean, not. I'm not gonna say that's the only thing here, but in some cases, it seems that that's the only thing that's here because the lifestyle you want. I love being here if I could live a healthy life and a life that I can afford.
Yeah, I mean,
But
you live here and then you go down waterfront Vancouver, and I can't have a beer for under $12.
oh my gosh,
I mean, so
I
like,
can't even take my family there for a meal.
so you
Can't find parking.
yeah,
Don't.
you make money, but then it all ends up going back. I mean, it's just there shouldn't be,
No.
we shouldn't be having $10 beers here. I mean,
Yeah.
we're the brewing capital we're one of the brewing capitals of the
It's
world, and
crazy,
we got to
bro.
pay our $10 a beer here. I don't understand that.
Well, for those that since we're like way past our time,
And
but
we're on different topics.
so many different times. I don't think we spoke that much. Thank you for watching and staying on. For those that stayed on to at the end of it, but for those that want to check you out, from AL Merryman to Merryman Power, where can they find you at?
Yeah, we're located downtown Vancouver. We have AL Merryman Company. That's the executive search side. That's merrymanco.com. And then we started a workforce development temp staffing firm called Merryman Power. So we work in the industrial construction sectors, doing temp labor. And then C Roots is c-roots.org if anybody wants to learn more about tiny homes and affordable housing. Really great organization. Communities welcome to get involved. There's all kinds of opportunity there. So those are kind of the three things I'm working on. On a Monday through Friday type deal. C Roots all the time, but yeah.
You were one of the founding board members.
Yeah, man.
That's-
Yeah. I mean, I could write a book on that one, dude. I mean, that was a lot of people doubting us, a lot of no's, a lot of heartache, a lot of grant writing, a lot of learning something.
How do you become an expert or something?
How do you be a developer? How do you, you learn by making mistakes, honestly. We made a lot of mistakes, but we just, I think the reason why we were successful is we had a couple really gritty cowboy board members, and we refused to give up. So Jimmy V, never give up.
Jimmy V, yeah.
I mean, I think that can be applied to everything you do in life. So we hung in there. We felt the pain. Every entrepreneur feels pain.
Oh God.
So if you want to be an entrepreneur, if people are listening and like, I want to be an entrepreneur, find a niche, specialize in that niche, be the best in the world at something. I'm the best in the world at electrical construction executive recruiting. And and I'm finding a bunch of other little niches too, by the way. Nate, I'm becoming a world premiere Willie Mays card collector. I know everything about Willie Mays baseball cards. I'm also becoming an expert at developing property in like weird markets. Pioneer Town, California. I know everything about that little market because there's these little things I want to I got all these little niches that I'm working on.
If I would go into Dan's GoDaddy he's gonna have like
Like
160 domains already.
just become a master of these little niches, and you can be. I mean, you can be. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it can bring financial freedom. I mean, honestly,
It can.
I mean, so I think we've seen that with some of the younger generations. They might, they became a master of learning, when's the best time to buy and sell on a specific cryptocurrency. I mean, I dabbled in that, done well with that. I mean, you just little things that
They do it with Fortnite profiles.
Yeah, Fortnite profiles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to sell this for $20. Build this up. This, I think that's the difference between our generation and which we're at the end of Gen X. You got these millennials, and then the one after that is Gen Zers. We weren't raised with this, which is another thing. Like, as a kid, we were happy to be outside all day when they just stay inside and be on this all day. And I mean, and it's not a bad thing if you can learn and apply yourself. There's so many things that you can like crush it.
Oh, it's I went to Coachella this year with my we do that. We love Coachella.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And my daughter's 19. She's just like there's just some average 18-year-old, 20-year-old right there, and she's like, "Oh, that guy's probably worth $20 million just doing YouTube. I know that guy. I know that guy. Oh, there's another influence over there. All these little brands." And then we get back and we tell my son, he couldn't go, he's too young, but he's like, "Oh my God, you saw so and so and blah blah blah," and it's like it's crazy, and they're all so
becoming an influencer. That's the new wave. Who would have known that's a job category today?
It's I think it's what everybody in those Z, and what's after Z? What's the next one?
Millennials.
No, there's millennials, Z, and then what's it's my son.
I don't know.
How old are your kids?
They're 12 and through 19.
So the 12-year-old might be.
I think they are, or is it Gen A?
I think it's A. I think is it A coming?
I think A is back to the beginning of the alphabet. That's what they. If I don't know.
Oh, it's A. Gen A is coming. So that your 12-year-old's probably look it up. I think your 12-year-old's going to be Gen A.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Are you ready for him?
Well, I mean, are these question is
Gen Alpha?
Gen Alpha is Gen Alpha. Are they going to have the patience to take care of us when we're
no?
Old?
I don't know.
Or are we going to have to move to Nairobi to maybe? I mean, they will take care of us. I don't.
Yeah,
something to think about.
It will be.
I mean,
hey, tell them we can keep talking. Tell them your where can they get in contact with you? Is it the email or is it LinkedIn?
Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn, Dan Whiteley. Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn,
and we'll put his information in the show notes.
You find me on the Insta. You can find my Twitter account.
Hey, thanks for tuning in, man. Hey, we're gonna have Dan back on again because obviously we can talk about a lot. Especially we can really niche on the construction piece.
Just be you.
Be you. All right. Until next time, dream big and Godspeed.
All right. See you.
I'm out.